in the world of algorithm design, there's a lot of interest in this concept of transparency. Can we give users more and more information about the algorithms? And of course, there are concerns a lot of companies have with too much transparency. For example, you have your IP that you're giving away if you're fully transparent about your algorithm. You also risk that hackers can attack your system if they know how your algorithm works. And so Google doesn't want to give away its search algorithm because it's its secret sauce, but also because then, black hat SEO companies and websites will try and trick the algorithm to rank higher. So they don't want to reveal that information. And so the question is, can we really achieve this goal of transparency given these concerns? And what I discuss in the book is that it turns out we don't need that much transparency to win user trust. And I give an example of a research study done by this person, Rene Kizilchek, who is now a professor, I believe at Cornell, but at that time was a PhD student at Stanford. And he did a research study where an algorithm is used to figure out final grades for students in an exam. And in one group, students got their final grade with no information. And this group was not happy with the grades they got, right? Because you get a final grade, but you don't know why you got this grade. Yeah. So then, of course, another group got some basic explanation for how their grades were computed. And TAs graded it, but then it was adjusted because some people got a lenient TA, some people got a very strict TA, and the algorithm adjusted the grades, and here's roughly what it did. Turns out the trust went up a lot when they got this information. Now, third group got even more information. They got the actual formulae that was used to adjust their grades and all kinds of gory details about the algorithm. Trust went back down. And so it was interesting. And I think it's what we might call in today's terminology, TMI, too much information, right? And I think generalizing that, my point is that, there's a lot of debate about companies. Do they want to give up their secret sauce, or will hackers be able to hack them, hack their algorithms and all those things? That assumes you're giving up all the details of your algorithms, you're revealing your source code and those kinds of things. And a lot of the research shows, and it's not surprising, that most users anyway don't need that level of transparency. They just need to know some very basic information of why, for example, if my loan application was rejected by a software application, what were the factors that went into it? Or a newsfeed algorithm said I should read this news story. What are the 3 factors that led to this? Or, if an AI system is telling a doctor that it believes that this person has, I don't know, let's say a brain lesion or a cancer, here's the 2-3 reasons why, or some explanation behind the decision. So the person can interpret the decision and say, okay, I buy it, or I'm going to overrule the algorithm's recommendation for these reasons. And that's all you need. And you don't really need intimate details of the algorithm, its logic, and the source code, and so on. So mostly my point in that chapter is, turns out there's a happy median in between where users are happy, and at the same time, firms don't have to feel like they're compromising their precious IP.
I love that example you gave in the book where you talk about what the professor giving out the explanations for the grades. Because when I originally thought of that test, I thought, oh, well, the people getting the most information will be happiest. That's the way I thought. I was totally off.
Yeah, I think that's the surprising thing in their results that I didn't expect either. And one has to do more and more studies to figure out, what kinds of explanations are valuable and what kinds are not. Even within the world of machine learning, there's a whole field focused on what's known as interpretable machine learning. How do you make machine decisions with interpretations on why the decision was what it was? Mm-hmm. And the question is, what kinds of interpretations do you need? Do you just need interpretation that says, at a high level, this algorithm makes decisions on, let's say, loan approvals, and the 5 most important factors we have noticed that drives the decision are your education, your employment history, and whatever else? Or does it need to be even more granular? Does it need to be your individual loan application was rejected because of your age being this and your address being that, and is it that level of information? So I think there's a lot of work yet to be done here to figure out ultimately what kinds of explanations we need with machine decisions. But bottom line, I think we do need explanations. Most machine decisions today do not come with explanations, and that's a huge problem. And this excuse that we cannot reveal too much about our algorithm is not a valid excuse, because at least research thus far suggests you don't have to reveal that much.
Thank you so much for checking out this clip from the Data Talk podcast. To watch the full episode, you can either go to the Experian blog. The URL is experian.com/datatalk, or you can click on the link, which is found in the description of this video.